and then we shall move on. I'm loud. I don't think there's anything I can do about that, really. Looks like they went ahead and started. Let's see how it starts off for these two guys. Like I said earlier, this is an important race between these two guys. It determines who goes home and who stays on the island. Probably be a good race. You know, probably not probably, it is going to be a good race. We know it is. DreamKing often looks like a quick start. Not quite sure what happened there. Now, if you don't know, Bloodborne does go off in-game time, so even though DreamKing does look like he's ahead right now in the first 50 seconds, they are in the same in-game time right now, so don't really worry about that too much. That ensgmaster is a little bit behind. And now, if you don't know why we do in-game time over RTA, it's because Bloodborne, being a console exclusive on PS4, does have many different hardware setups. You have regular PS4 that come from the stock hard drive, which is pretty slow. You can have a regular PS4 with SSD, which cuts down time by about 50%. Load times, that is. Then you have your PS4 Slim and your PS4 Pro. The Pro having what's called a boost mode, which makes the game even faster in terms of loading. Now, SSD and the PS4 Pro do affect in-game time, but the SSD affects it way more than the PS4 Pro does. And I don't know what these two guys have in terms of setup. Ooh, and DreamKing getting a gesture and missing the threaded cane. Now that is pretty bad for DreamKing because you need the threaded cane for a skip later in the run. So depending on what he wants to do, he can do lots of different things. He can get the Kirk hammer, or he can wait to buy the threaded cane after he kills Cleric Beast, but that's later along in the run, so we can just see what he's gonna do. Now, both runners are running through Central Yharnam right now, trying to get to the first boss. But before the first boss, we have the first skip, which is a big run killer for a lot of runners. And good thing this skip is at the very beginning of the run, or else it'd be pretty annoying. What they're going to try to do, they're going to try to use these boxes up here. They're going to use it to get up onto an invisible ledge. DreamKing having a little bit of trouble. And they're going to jump onto this railing and hopefully... And DreamKing may have got it. He did land a little short. He did get on the railing, but he may not have actually got the skip. And when the game reloads, it will put you on the railing and you'll be able to go and skip this entire area that ensgmaster is going through, who has opted not to do the skip. I'm not sure if he is uncomfortable with doing the skip or he just has decided not to do it in the race. DreamKing has got the skip, so now he'll run along this railing, dodge this dog hopefully, and he has now skipped this entire sewer area. That's why it's called the sewer skip. Who would have guessed? You know, that is like an amazing... he almost got trapped by the villagers, but he managed to get through. ensgmaster climbing the ladder. So this is another one of those situations where we're going to have a difference in where they are based on a quit out. So DreamKing is quit out. Even though ensgmaster looks like he's... I have no idea what ensgmaster does. He's gonna be like some weird ways away. Ensgmaster is doing some unorthodox route that I don't really know what he's doing. I hope he knows what he's doing.
It's enough to make a man sick.
DreamKing fighting Gascoigne. One of the more difficult bosses in the game, especially for newer players, but I personally think he's pretty great for the first boss. Getting the parry on the running attack, pretty good. And DreamKing dying to Gascoigne. Commentary is a little bit behind because I'm an idiot apparently. Alright, we're back. I think I got this thing figured out. So, DreamKing fighting Gascoigne right now. I mean, maybe he's not, maybe I'm behind, I don't know. He should be fighting Gascoigne. Ensgmaster killed Gascoigne and is now going down to Old Jarnum and is going for, do the Old Jarnum skip. Don't know which Old Jarnum skip. Oh, he's gonna do the new one. Good for him. Let's see what he does. Is he gonna get it? Aw, and he just barely misses it. by a few inches. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. I don't know if he got the lamp to Old Jarm or not, so this may be pretty bad for ensgmaster. DreamKing just killing Gascoigne. Decent fight from what I saw, so he shouldn't be in too much trouble. Shouldn't be too far behind. That death to Gascoigne is going to cost him, not too much. So did ensgmaster get the lamp in Old Jarnum? I don't know. We're about to find out when he loads back in. He did not, so he's going to have to go from Cathedral Ward all the way back down to Old Jarnum. DreamKing opting to take the Hunter set, which is a really good defense early game. It also adds a little bit of Beasthood, which affects your Beast meter. So we'll get into that when the characters actually get a Beastblood pellet in Old Jarnum. But right now, they're basically neck and neck. I can't really tell who's ahead right now due to the loading screens and the deaths, but we'll kind of ignore that for right now, kind of enjoy the race as we can. So DreamKing going up to this NPC, Alfred, he's pretty much a cool guy. He'll just give you some free fire paper, and you know you'll never see him again. Unfortunately, ensgmaster opting to take the lamp for Old Jarnum in case he actually misses the skip again. He's opting to get his blood echoes back. Not sure why. You don't need the blood echoes from Gascoigne, actually. And getting the skip this time, really... and not getting the jump and dying to the skip again. DreamKing is now... Where is he? Oh, he quit out to avoid the dogs, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I should say. ensgmaster going to do the skip a third time. Hopefully he'll get it this time. Let's cheer him on. He gets it, but will he get the jump? And he gets a jump, so he should be home free. DreamKing making his way down to Old Jarnum. So ensgmaster's going to pick up an item here called Eastwood Pellets, and the way that these things work is that when you eat them, it puts you in a state called Beasthood, and the more damage you do, the more times you get hit, or the more times you deal damage, the more damage you'll eventually do. So I think we're having a little bit of trouble here. Stream has kind of frozen for me, but we will wait here to see how it pans out.
their palate.
Let's just see where we go from here. I think it started to work a little bit, not quite sure. DreamKing just now killing Parl, apparently. I may be behind, I don't know. ensgmaster going to do the Yosefka Clinic gate open early. A little bit of technical difficulties. Stream is a little bit behind for me, a little bit broken, as you could say, don't know why. So, DreamKing on his way through the Forbidden Woods, going to face the Shadows of Yharnam, another choke point in the run, very difficult boss. It's a 3v1 fight. ensgmaster making it up the epic ladder. Very epic ladder. Gonna open the gate to Yosefka's clinic and probably, mark out. So DreamKing running through the Forbidden Woods is going to pick up a few upgrade materials. Now these upgrade materials function the same way as Titanite in Dark Souls. So they're going to get just enough to get their weapon to the next level for the next area. Now, these guys, they're going to be playing with a +4 weapon up until Mikolash, which is pretty much mid-game. DreamKing coming up on the Shadows fight. Let's just pray for a good fight. This is one of the most RNG heavy fights in the game. Very difficult fight. I'll see how it goes. Looking a little scary. ensgmaster getting killed by the Bagman to go to Hegel to fight Parl. So if you don't know, we fight Parl early just so we can have access to some wallpaper and so that we don't have to do a very difficult team twice. Yeah. A route change found by this hex. Ooh, DreamKing in a little bit of trouble. And DreamKing dies to Shadows of Yharnam, unfortunately. Now that is one of the most costly deaths in the run, mainly because it's about a 3-minute run back from the lamp. So very, very bad time loss for DreamKing here. ensgmaster coming up to Parl. This fight is really just abuse. Parl really has no chance to fight back if you do the fight correctly. So let's see how he goes. I think it may be a pretty decent fight by ensgmaster. Really good fight. That strategy found by this hex as well, that fighting Parl with the gem that you get from Amelia. So basically everything just falls into place perfectly for you to kill Parl that quickly early game. Really good fight. Now that he's killed Parl, he's going to buy 11 vials, he's going to buy 3 bolt paper. That's going to last him for the next 3 boss fights, and hopefully the vials will last him longer than that. DreamKing making his way back down to Shadows. Like I said, one of the most costly deaths in the run. But he should be able to get there no problem. The bad thing about dying to Shadows is that when you enter the arena, they're already active. When before, you're already into their arena where you can get some free hits off. Now he'll have to kind of dance around the boss, hopefully be able to get some, get them kind of corralled in a way that he can take care of them. So ensgmaster actually doing what's called early DLC. He's going to go here, he's going to pick up some extra upgrade materials so that he can be a little bit further ahead for the bosses later in the game. ensgmaster kiting these guys around. Hopefully doesn't take a fireball to the face. That flamethrower attack that you see from that shadow is one of the highest DPS attacks in the game. It'll roast you alive within a few seconds, so if he can avoid that, he'll be pretty safe. Another problem with this fight is the counter damage. If you don't know, Bloodborne has one of the highest counter damages of any of the Souls game. It's like 50%, something nuts. Counter damage happens when you get hit while you're moving. So if you mistime a dodge or mistime a roll or you're running, and you get clipped, you're gonna take a lot of extra damage. ensgmaster picking up a eye pendant that will be used later after he kills a certain DLC boss. Alright, ensgmaster in a little bit of trouble. The shadow is summoning his snakes. Alright, so he's killed him now. This last shadow gets stuck in an AI loop, so he's basically won the fight. Let's get some GG's for DreamKing. It's a pretty good fight. Unfortunate death, but he managed to pull through. ensgmaster running through the Hunter's Nightmare. He's going to be taking a lamp up here before the first DLC boss, and he's going to warp back here later. DreamKing now going to do what's called the YOLO Lunarian Key Skip. Usually when you're going through this area, if you've played this game casually, you'll go into this college area, go up to the top and grab a key, but because that's really slow, this Hex, another amazing skip finder, has found this skip where you jump off the tail of this centipede enemy and go over the fence into the water. DreamKing missed it, so he's going to quit out, which will reset the position of the enemies, and they'll be able to get the skip that way easily with no hassle. DreamKing finally making it to the lamp that he needs to go to. DreamKing missing it first time and getting it the second time. Pretty good. You know, it's just a complete absolute miracle that that enemy that's placed right there just happens to have a way for you to jump over it like that. You know, some things were just meant to be, you know. So DreamKing fighting Rom. I'm gonna quit saying that these bosses are a choke point because a lot of the bosses are a choke point. And he's getting spat on by the little spiders. If you know anything about this game, you'll know that the little spiders are way more dangerous than Rom herself is, so he has to get rid of them. And not only does getting rid of them make the boss fight a little bit easier, he'll also build up a little bit of meter. A little bit of beast meter from that. Now, you can fight Rom without fighting the little spiders, but you really have to be kind of nuts to do that. Difficult strat, don't recommend it. Now DreamKing may, he gets the stagger, he may get a one cycle here, and he is going to get a one cycle. Really good from DreamKing. ensgmaster going through the Forbidden Woods, opting not to get the lizard. I guess that's because he did early DLC. Doing Forbidden Woods skip, one of the easiest skips in the game. I suggest you go and try it yourself if you're doing a casual playthrough. Really fun. Skips about 20% of the area. Not that big of a skip, but it's still pretty cool. You know, if you get invaded by someone, you can hide up there. It's pretty funny. In killing Rom, DreamKing has now made it to Hegel, which is kind of a weird area. It's where he killed Parl earlier, but the areas that we are in now were blocked off before. So now he has access to those areas after releasing the seal from killing Rom. ensgmaster, just like DreamKing did, running through the forest, gonna pick up some upgrade materials, I think. He did early DLC, so I don't know if he needs the upgrade materials. Probably not, as he's running past them. I don't really know the route that ensgmaster does. Seems pretty interesting, I suppose. We'll just have to see. He's about to fight Shadows. Hopefully his Shadows fight goes a little bit better than DreamKing's. Let's just see. DreamKing going to pick up a key item here. It's a key to the Upper Cathedral Ward, which we'll be going back to later. DreamKing now going to do a skip called Hegel Skip, another Hex classic found about a year ago, a little bit more than that maybe. He's going to use a charge R2 attack to clip through this fence and then fall down below. He misses it, so he has to kill these enemies. He could have quit out, but there's really no point because this is a race setting. So he's going to do what's called the flow setup now. And will he get it? He misses it a little bit too close to the fence when he did it, I think. He gets it. Nice, smooth skip. He's gonna pick up some more materials, some more buffs here, so he should be fine. ensgmaster dying to the shadows. I think I missed it, but considering that he got sent back to the lamp, I think he may have unfortunately died to the shadows. So another 3-minute run back for ensgmaster while DreamKing is running to One Reborn. Now, One Reborn, I'm gonna be straight with you, absolutely terrible boss. Probably the worst boss in this game. It's just a bunch of legs stitched together that kick you, and he pukes on you. And not only that, he has like 6 witches up above who shoot fireballs on you. If you've played Demon Souls and you know the Tower Knight, it's kind of similar to that. The One Reborn actually being quite infamous in this tournament so far, taking the lives of about 6 runners, I think. Or maybe about 3 runners twice apiece, but it has killed many runs lately. So hopefully DreamKing gets a decent fight. What he's going to do, he's going to try to keep One Reborn staggered indefinitely so that he can deal with them. ensgmaster making his way back to shadows. DreamKing having a little bit of trouble getting actually trapped, but he managed to make it out. Will he be able to get the first stagger on One Reborn? I don't think so. Really bad luck for DreamKing here. Really bad luck. Once One Reborn gets free from the stagger, he is a wild card. He can do whatever he wants. He does get the stagger, thankfully. This is looking really shaky for DreamKing, unfortunately. Will he be able to make it out alive? Now he's out of vials, pulling a dude hand out of vials at One Reborn. One Reborn throwing a temper tantrum. And ensgmaster is going to... This is... I don't know. DreamKing having a tough time. And that's gonna be it for DreamKing getting killed by One Reborn. Unfortunately. ensgmaster fighting shadows. Getting nearly roasted, getting some back bacon on that right now. This is not looking good. DreamKing completely out of vials. He's going to pick up the famous akimbo vials if he knows about them. DreamKing obviously not happy, doing some gestures. Will he continue? He should continue. He needs to. No reason not to. Come on, DreamKing, you have this. You can keep going. ensgmaster struggling with shadows a little bit. Getting the parry, but his pellet has just run out, so he's going to have to take the fight a little bit slower. DreamKing getting the yellow Yarhagol version. Really good. He's going to have to pick up the extra vials, though, if he has any plans of surviving against One Reborn, unfortunately. ensgmaster getting to 1 shadow, and he has killed shadows. He's going to put this final one in an AI loop. I don't know if DreamKing knows about the akimbo vials. Hopefully he knows about them. If you don't know, the akimbo vials are like a stack of 6 vials next to the gem. ensgmaster killing shadows. Let's get some GGs for him. No, DreamKing opts to only take, what, like 2 vials? Don't know where he picked those up from. Maybe they were extra. ensgmaster opting to drink the blue elixir to get the key skip. Let's see if he gets it. I don't know if he'll get it. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, so we're back. Well, I'm back. Looks like DreamKing has unfortunately chose to forfeit, and we have ensgmaster continuing to run. All he has to do now is complete the run, and he shall be deemed the victor of this race. So let's continue to cheer on ensgmaster no matter what happens. Alright, so ensgmaster making his way to the wet nurse fight. Let's see how he does against wet nurse. Getting probably the best opening that you can get from wet nurse there. ensgmaster taking advantage of it, doing a few transform attacks. He is now at full meter north, true meter north. Ooh, barely getting away from that attack. Ooh, the double slash. So if all goes well, ensgmaster will not come in contact with the nightmare phase, which is the worst attack this enemy can do. If you don't know, the nightmare phase turns the entire area black, and she copies herself over and over again to attack you. It's really annoying. You can dodge it if you know how to dodge it correctly. You can dodge it so that the whole phase does not happen. Looks like ensgmaster won't have to worry about it. She's actually going into nightmare phase. He misses 2 attacks and he manages to get it off just barely. Good fight by ensgmaster there. A little scary at the end, but he will continue. Now, because of ensgmaster's interesting route, I don't know what he's going to be doing next. Probably Amygdala or Amygdala, either way you want to say it. With his running around, I don't even think he knows what he's going to do next. But from his warp, it seems he's going to do Cleric Beast. So ensgmaster going to get the summons and the cords from Yosefka, and then he'll go and he'll fight Cleric Beast. Hopefully, who knows, with this route that ensgmaster is doing, he may even do Cleric Beast as the final boss of the game. No clue what he's doing. You know, he just lets Jesus take the wheel with this route. So he's going to go through the dark residence here, and he's going to take a left, and then another left. And he's going to fight Cleric Beast. So if you've ever played this game casually, there's a high chance that you may have run into this guy. He is considered to be the first boss of the game, but you may not know that he is entirely optional. You do not need to fight this boss. So I think ensgmaster may have missed a level up on his weapons or something, because he's doing a little bit less damage than he should be. So no idea what level his weapons are at. You know, it's an enigma. Who knows what ensgmaster's doing? It's like, I don't know. I also believe that ensgmaster may also have his own stream open, and that's why we hear a double echo of his stream. So if you didn't hear it the first time, hopefully you hear what's going on the second time. Okay, he's putting the gems in. He should be +9 now, and he should be going to the lecture hall, which he is. Just the fact that I know where he's going is a miracle. Christmas miracle. So he should be doing what's called the lecture hall skip, another skip found by Hex, and he's not going to do it. He has opted to run the length of the lecture hall and do it the safe way. Now, lecture hall skip only saves about 15 seconds if you get it first try. So there's Patches. Patches is in this game somehow. Somehow he's going to be tampering with you in every Souls game. So in this game, he's just a lowly spider. Nothing too important. He's kind of like Amidala's little buddy. You know, feeding him hunters who manage to make it this way. He's pretty useless. ensgmaster is about to take Patches as god and kill it in just a few hits if he does the strats correctly, which I believe he will. Now, knowing ensgmaster here, we're going to take a detour and we're going to make it all the way to Ludwig from this Nightmare Frontier. Don't know how ensgmaster does it. Like I said, his routes are a little weird. We'll see where he ends up. Right now he's doing the Nightmare Frontier skip, an elusive skip that kind of, we didn't know how to do it for the longest time, and then it turns out that it's the easiest skip in the world. You just sit down, or you do a charged R2 attack, and you'll skip this entire area. We had runners jump up against the wall for hours and hours trying to find a way to get this skip, and ensgmaster doing it perfectly. So now he's going to make his way down to Amidala and kill him finally. So if he does the Ivan strats, Amidala should die in about 8 hits. There is an older way of doing this, which is a little bit more difficult, so I don't think he'll be doing that. Maybe he will. He has no bolt paper, so I don't know what he's going to do. And he does the Ivan way. Without the bolt paper, I don't think it's going to be any different. He may need to do an extra hit. Yes, so that is good and done. He's going to use the cord here because he has some downtime. Both cords. So now all the early game bosses are dead. He's going to go to the DLC, kill some DLC bosses. Or not. He's gonna go and he's gonna go kill some other bosses that I completely forgot about. The Celestial Emissary and Abritus. See, even I don't even remember the real route to this game. I've never ran this game before in my life, guys. Please cut me some slack. So if you remember earlier, he sent his elevator down, and now he's going to take it back up to go to an area called Upper Cathedral Ward. It's an area that I myself missed my first playthrough, and I know a lot of people probably missed their first playthrough. So it's kind of a hidden area. It's the key that he picked up in Yarhagul earlier, which was also in a hidden area of Yarhagul. So it's kind of like a double whammy for this area. You gotta find a hidden key, Then you gotta find this hidden doorway. You're probably not gonna find this your first playthrough. Nothing really special there. Just some bosses and some items and some story stuff. You know, not too important, I suppose. It is probably the most optional area. And the bouncers, also known as the two church servants there, allowing him to get by pretty easily. He's opting to take the lamp. And he's going to go up here and he's going to attempt a skip called Orphanage Key Skip. Found by a runner called found by a runner called this Hex. And what he's going to do, he's going to attack this brain sucker through the doorway with a threaded cane that he picked up at the beginning of the game. And he's going to kill this brain sucker and it's going to give him a key, which will allow him to open a door downstairs. And if he gets it, it's looking a little shaky. And he gets it. So he's pretty much home free now. I have died to Celestial Emissary. Good question from the chat from this Hex. Celestial Emissary, not a boss to be taken lightly. So now he's picking up the Cosmic Eye Watcher badge, which will allow him to actually buy some Eastwood Pellets later. Let's see how ensgmaster is going to fight this boss. Will he do YOLO? Will he fight it the standard way? Who knows? He is opting to fight it the standard way, although using a different setup than most runners would do. And now all he has to do is attack this enemy a few times and that boss is dead. GG. Now he just jumped through the window there, and now he's going to go fight another hidden boss, Ebritus or Britius or Ebritus, however you want to pronounce the name. Doesn't really matter. The game says Ebritus, other people say it other ways. So this has a really, really nice setup where you will always kill this boss in just a few hits if you do it correctly. When you come into her boss room, she's sleeping, and when the first time you attack her, she'll wake up, but it takes her a few seconds to actually wake up. And the combo that the speedrunners do will always stagger her, and ensgmaster has done it. Only a few more hits left, and it will be GG. Like 4 more hits, I think. There we go. Now because he took the lamps beforehand, he can't immediately warp out. So he's going to have to take the lamp here and then go back to the dream, where he'll go to the DLC. ensgmaster taking to what looks like 17 vitality and 33 and 35. I think he may have picked up a few extra level ups or a few extra souls here and there. Oh, he's actually opting to kill Gurman early. Completely forgot about this. Another ensgmaster specialty, killing this boss beforehand. if you don't know the history about this, this is actually a banned technique. This is a banned route change. This is completely illegal when it comes to speedrunning this game. You cannot kill this man early. Ensgmaster getting a little bit trouble with the parries here, getting hit. Getting the parry off. This is looking scary for Ensgmaster. So Gurman now going into phase 2, in which he'll get backstabbed and then immediately dispatched if he can finish it off, and he does. So as soon as he fades away into dust, we'll probably be marking out, and he does. We'll be coming back to fight the final boss last. Yeah, the reason you would want to fight Gurman early there is because you have all your insight dumped from buying the Blood Rock. So we're back in the DLC now. Ensgmaster, now his level ups are complete, his weapon is completely upgraded, and he also has the stats that he needs. He's going to face off against the DLC bosses, probably some of the more difficult bosses in the game. And missing the head stagger on Ludwig, unfortunately. Will he be able to recover? He gets the head stagger, so he's definitely going to be going into phase 2. And that is an excellent kill by Ensgmaster. Let's get some GGs on that. Really, really nice fight. He's going to be going up into the research hall, into living failures. Ensgmaster giving us a little wave to let us know that he's doing alright. So he's going to come down here, get another key item, and he gets a stored roll. Unfortunately, he's going to have to wait one more time. He can mark out here, but he probably does not want to save his echoes. So just a few more seconds. He has all the time in the world that he can have to do this, so no pressure. And he gets the roll, so he's going to pick up an item called Lawrence's Skull, which will activate a boss later. now that that ordeal's over, he's gonna make it up this spiral staircase, try to make it to the second boss of the DLC called Living Failures. If you don't know, this DLC has 5 bosses in it. One of the bigger DLCs that has ever been released for a From Software game. He's gonna quit out here. It's gonna reset enemy position so that he can actually get through this doorway without getting attacked. So he has made it past those enemies. It's a miracle. But now he has to make it through these enemies who have IVs that will do lots of damage to you. There's one coming up that can one-shot you if you get really unlucky with your roll. But he has 17 vitality, I believe, so he should be able to make it through. He's going to shoot this guy. That guy will shoot you in the back as you're running up. So here's the enemy. Hopefully he manages to make it past without getting killed. He has enough HP and he makes it past with no problem at all. Let's see if he goes for lever skip. I don't know if ensgmaster knows about lever skip. Let's see if he goes for it. Does he just... And he does not go for it, unfortunately. So this rat behind him will attack him. Fortunately, he did not roll off the edge or get killed. If you do what's called lever skip, you do an animation cancel to actually use the lever up there. And it kind of confuses the rat's AI for whatever reason. He's gonna die because he did not heal. You need to heal there to survive that fall. So unfortunately for ensgmaster, he's going to have to take the elevator back up. Really unfortunate death, but should not cost him very much time at all. So once you take that lift up, you'll be right at the boss. Once you make the staircase go up, you can no longer use it anymore. So you have to take this to get up to the top. Now he's going to be fighting a boss called the Living Failures. It's kind of like Celestial Emissary, if Celestial Emissary was always big and there wasn't any little ones. And if the fight was nothing like that fight. So the way he's going to fight this is that he's going to kill this first guy, and then he's basically going to spawn count the next guy over and over again. If you do this fight fast enough, the other guys should not spawn at all, and he has done it a little bit too slow, and the other guys are going to be able to spawn onto the battlefield. He should not be in too much trouble. ensgmaster getting the meme attack, really annoying magic attack that's going to home in on him. Let's see if he dodges it. Getting really memed by these AoE bombs, unfortunately, but he kills them. Has just enough time to quit out, hopefully, after he takes the lamp. Oh no, he has opted to quit out first. So the reason he has decided to quit out is because some reason in this game, when you quit out, it keeps your beast meter going. The way that the Eastwood Pellets work, we kind of explained earlier, is that the more you attack, the more damage you do as the meter builds up. But it only lasts for 60 seconds. Now when you quit out, there's some kind of weird glitch that it removes the time limit of it. but it also removes your ability to build a meter. So you will actually keep the full damage buff for the duration of the meter, which is like another minute or so, another 30 seconds, something like that. So we use that to our advantage to fight Maria with almost a full meter, which almost doubles your damage. It's like a 50 or 75% increase in total damage, which is pretty nuts. And he is getting bodied by Maria, unfortunately. So hopefully he'll be able to heal off when she goes in the second phase. Actually missing the final attack there because his Saw Cleaver went over her head, which is kind of funny. He decides to back off, heal. He needs about 2 more hits on Maria to kill her, and he dodges right into her charged attack and gets completely shish kebabbed, unfortunately. Gets completely penetrated, completely just destroyed, unfortunately. So good thing he took the lamp, so he's going to have to go back in there and fire her with a fresh Eastwood Pellet. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Ensgmaster is a good player, so he should be good enough to fight Maria without the extra Eastwood Pellet. It'll just take a little bit longer. So Maria, like a lot of the bosses that are kind of humanoid shaped or hunter shaped, get staggered in a single hit. So, oh, great parry. Get staggered in a single hit. So that's why it's just so easy to complete like wail on Maria. She just completely takes it, you know. One hit away, and she dodges into his attack this time. Complete role reversal. He manages to kill her this time in the same way that she killed him. Good revenge strats there. So now he's going to make it into the fishing hamlet. And then he's going to fight the Orphan of Cause. So this area coming up, completely new area. We're no longer in the research hall. We're now in some kind of twisted nightmare version of the fishing hamlet. Really interesting story going on here. If you're into that, read up on the lore. You know, grab yourself the comic books. The comic books are pretty good, I suppose. There's like 4 issues. Read some item descriptions. Read yourself some Maria fan fiction. You know, get yourself the good story. He's actually opted to use the blue elixir. Other runners run to this area without it. It's more or less the same. You're a little bit more safe with the blue elixir. If you don't know what the blue elixir actually does, it makes you a little bit invisible if you couldn't tell. You know, when he first drank the blue elixir, I couldn't even tell. I thought he just disappeared completely. I thought the run was over, but luckily he has reappeared to us, and he's going to do a skip called the Hamlet Skip. Skips about the last 20% of this area. If he does it correctly, he could die here like I have. So what he does there is called a slope quit out. So the way that these games work, the Dark Souls and your Demon Souls, your Bloodborne, is that slopes and moving things like elevators and lifts and stuff like that, they're called unstable ground. So the game does not save your position when you're standing on those types of areas. So the way this works is that you land on a slope and the game doesn't immediately think you're dead. You use the slope to touch the ground, and you quit out right when you touch the ground, and that's when the game saves your positional data, but does not apply fall damage just yet. So that's how we're able to skip this area. Now he's going to fight Orphan of Cause. I don't know if he's going to do the cheese. He's got the poison knives out. I have now confirmed, yes, our analysts have confirmed that he is doing the Orphan cheese. which is a way to freeze this boss's AI to get a pretty consistent fight. So let's see how he does. Doing this will put him in an AI loop so that he can kill Orphan pretty easily with no, I wouldn't say no effort, that's not the word I'm looking for, with no problem, I would say. So as you can see, this boss, which is considered to be the toughest boss in the game, probably, especially to those who are newer to the series, or even maybe, actually veterans think this boss is pretty difficult. And ensgmaster getting a great fight, giving us a little cheer. And if you saw there, you may have saw that the Orphan actually froze in place while being killed. Now, this boss has 2 phases, but because we killed, or we, as in the royal we, see, we're all experiencing this run together with ensgmaster because we killed the boss before going into first phase. He has no death animation for first phase, so that he just stands there in T-poses. So now, ensgmaster going to the final boss of the DLC. He's going back to the beginning, back to the Hunter's Nightmare, so that he can fight Lawrence. He's a big fiery boss. You may have missed him. You know, probably easily one of the more difficult bosses of the DLC. I say the DLC has some of the most difficult bosses. He's definitely up there. He can one-shot you at 99 vitality in your first playthrough with 1 attack. So he's really difficult to dodge if you don't know the strats or you don't know the attacks. He just goes completely ham on you in the second phase. So hopefully ensgmaster has mastered the way of the Falcon House, which is a English runner. And he has a specific strategy, a robotic strategy, as Hex would say, to kill this boss before he even goes to the last phase. So let's see if he gets it. He's going to stagger the head, which he does get. He's going to get a few attacks off, and let's just give us a moment of silence to pray for this strategy. And he does not get the Falcon House strat, so he is going to have to fight Lawrence in his crazy phase where he loses his legs. And thankfully he has 17 vitality because that attack would have killed him. And he gets killed by the crazy attack that would one-shot you at 99 vitality. Unfortunately, ensgmaster is going to now have to run back to the DLC, or run back to the boss rather, and fight him again. The bad thing about that is that when you first encounter bosses in this game, many times there is no fog wall. And because there is no fog wall, you can make it a significant way into their boss arena before the boss activates. This gives you a lot of time to attack the boss before their AI activates, or maybe they have some kind of startup animation before they actually attack you. But because ensgmaster has died to this boss, there will now be a fog wall in front of the arena which will activate his AI immediately. Bad thing about this is that the Falcon House strat is more difficult to get, but you can get it if you do it correctly. Now, Lawrence will always do the same attack when you enter the boss room and you walk towards him. ensgmaster getting a little bit of trouble with the hunters there. Only 4 vials left. Only 2 vials left. So if ensgmaster does this correctly, he should go around the right side of Lawrence, and Lawrence will do the same attack as he did the first time. And he does. Let's see if he'll get the strat one more time. I think he's a little bit too slow, but he can still get it. He misses the head stagger. All's not lost. He can still kill Lawrence pretty easily if he sticks to a safe plan. He gets the head stagger this time. So let's just hope that he can pull this off. He should jump back now. Really good. He's going to do the same attack. Ensgmaster getting hit, using the last of his vials, getting the arm staggers. Looking a little rough for Ensgmaster here. Lawrence is going to be going into second phase soon, so he better get as much damage as possible. Ensgmaster has no vials, so he needs to play this really safely. Getting the vomiting attack really good, that gives you free damage, and Ensgmaster has taken Lawrence out. Really good fight. A hectic fight. He really managed to salvage it. So we only have 3 bosses left. Ensgmaster should be done shortly, and then we'll get him in here for a quick and speedy Souls approved interview. So as you know, DreamKing has unfortunately forfeited after 2 deaths to One Reborn. Really unfortunate. He is probably the 4th runner to die to One Reborn twice in a run, in a race, and the 2nd runner to forfeit from One Reborn, unfortunately. So Ensgmaster now warping back to the Grand Cathedral. Oh, actually warping back to Hemwick. He has done early Hemwick strats, something that only saves a few seconds in-game time, but it gives you a little bit more leeway in terms of your materials that you get. So Ensgmaster making his way to the Witches of Hemwick, which are 2 early game bosses, which he will absolutely destroy. This is unfortunate that Twitch allows people to stream this. Pure elder abuse. We're going to be fighting these 2 old women who want nothing else in the world to enjoy their village in the woods, visit their grandchildren, but Ensgmaster, being the absolute monster that he is going to kill them in cold blood. It's really sad, but let's ignore that fact and watch what Ensgmaster does. You shall see the strats. He's going to be using a blue elixir here because there are a lot of witches here who have hammers and different gardening utensils, just going about their day, but they will attack. The more important thing here are the QTT dogs, named after a Taiwanese runner, QTT6, who unfortunately got viciously mauled by a group of these dogs. Dog on hunter violence these days, absolutely terrible. But he manages to make it through. So what he's going to do, he's going to come into this witch's abode and he's just going to absolutely dispatch them in about 10 hits. So that's 5 hits for the first one. Nana, no longer invited to Thanksgiving. She is now deceased, unfortunately. Going over to her twin, the second one, and they are dead. He's going to try to do the quit out on the barrel. Now, this is kind of a meme strat. Saves about 3 seconds, probably not even that. If you quit out on that barrel, you are once again on what's called unstable ground, and the game will actually put you outside the boss arena so you don't have to run out there. Saves about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds. Like I said, not even that much. Because he's not on stable ground when standing on that barrel. And stable ground also includes things that can be broken, like boxes, barrels, etc. It's going to put him outside like it just did. And now he's going to be running to Castle Canehurst. So luckily, beforehand, he picked up the summons, which allows him to be whisked away by a mystical carriage that can walk over air. Do not ask questions about the war in this game. So he's going to take this nice little carriage ride, as we should say, to this giant snow-covered castle in the middle of nowhere. You can actually see it from other places in the game. It's just a giant castle in the middle of the lake. And it's even more funny because as soon as you get there, you can look behind you and you'll notice the horses have actually died taking you here. So, good job. Now we have a very important question from the chat from Michael Volt. Is mayonnaise an instrument? Now that's something you're gonna have to take up with Miyazaki. I have no clue. Miyazaki next year releasing his new PSVR game where you actually do learn how to play mayonnaise. I would totally keep your eye on that. Forget that ninja game. No one cares about that. All about that new PSVR game. So back to this race. This very intense close race. Ensgmaster has now made it to the castle. He's taking this shortcut because he's going to be going up against Bulgarius. Bulgarius is easily a run killer. It has killed many a good run from our best runners. He does have a simple AI loop that you can exploit, but he can also kill you in just a few hits. So we're coming around. We're going to be running up and along the roof here. Hopefully he does not get grabbed by one of the guards. That would be really unfortunate. He does not. He just got read at instead, which is fine. Everyone needs to go re every now and again. So we're making our way up to the boss, just a few more. We got another epic ladder. You got some ladders, throw them in the chat, show your support, exclamation point free, stuff like that. So he's finally made it to the boss. He's going to use a Eastwood Pellet, and let's see how he destroys our grandfather. Looking pretty good so far. Bulgarius actually backing up. And Ensgmaster should have this in the bag, no problem. And he does not. He actually takes too long on the backstab and misses it completely, unfortunately. Now he'll have to fight him in second phase. This is really Monka-esque, really scary, guys. Missing the parry, getting completely slashed by Bulgarius here. Unfortunate. This is looking scary. He keeps getting those partial parries where he gets knocked back after parrying them. This is gonna be bad. He gets knocked back. What's gonna happen? Just 2 more hits. Come on. And he manages to kill Bulgarius. Nice new piercing ensgmaster have there. I'm sure his grandparents will be proud once they see that. So now ensgmaster opting to come up here to dump his insight to fight Moon Presence, the final boss of the game. ensgmaster needs to be careful. He has no vials left, but he should be able to take out this boss. Let's hope he's eaten the cords and he doesn't get sand-sowed. And he has eaten the cords, thankfully, and unlocked the final boss. Will he kill Moon Presence? ensgmaster looking to use a vial, but finds out he has none. And ensgmaster in trouble, no HP left. One more hit, and is he going to get killed? ensgmaster has 2 hits left. Will he manage to win? And he manages to kill Moon Presence, and that ends that. Really fun run by ensgmaster. Probably a 1:28:37. I don't know. I just made that number up. Let's see what he gets. Let's see what his time is. And it is a 1:28:59. I was pretty close. 1:26. I can't tell. Looks like a 1:28. I was closer. So let's get ensgmaster in here. Quick interview. See how he's doing. He can just jump on in at any time so we can talk to him. See how this run went. Pretty fun run, all things considered. Some bad luck at the beginning. Hello?
Hello?
Hello! Congratulations.
Oh, thanks. It was a terrible run, but yeah. I saw DK. He got destroyed by every bosses pretty much in the early game.
Yeah, it was pretty unfortunate, but you stuck it out. You're gonna move on. How do you feel?
It wasn't expected at all. I am completely dead. Like, I woke up super early, much earlier than I should have. I did some sport and I'm like super dead, you know. So I'm gonna go to bed very, very soon. But yeah, it was a very bad run, obviously. I have to check, because I apparently attacked the shadows wrong, because I died the exact same way on the very opening on the previous race. So I guess of that. I guess it was that. I also died to Lawrence because I got one shot the previous time, so I was so afraid to get one shot that I completely missed the cycles. And yeah, Logarius, the game decided to hit my L1s like twice before the transformation, which like got me super late, so I missed the backstab. So I got the super meme fight.
I mean, it was fun to watch, so I'm glad you stuck. I'm glad you stuck through it. You finished it.
Yeah. To be honest, I really was expecting to go further on the tournament, so I just didn't train at all. It's been a week and a half that I haven't touched Bloodborne. So yeah.
So next, you're gonna be going up against either E-Planet or Almaferi, and you got anything you wanna say to those two guys? You kind of
yeah. French. It's very French, apparently.
All right, so I think we gotta go. They're gonna be setting up for another race in a few minutes. yeah, anything you want to say to anyone that's out there watching you, your fans?
Yeah, and once again, sorry for DK. It's very understandable that he gave up. Like, I can understand that. That's why I like my road, because I have more pellets and I have a +6. But I would not imagine continuing a run with losing how many 3 pellets. I don't even know how much it was salvageable. Like, dying to 1 reborn is terrible. Like, no vials, no pets. It's pretty much over at this point. So yeah, I'm very sorry for DK, pretty much, because my run was very mimi. It wasn't very good.
Well, I enjoyed it, and we all enjoyed it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
If you guys enjoyed it, you guys didn't know, this was an elimination. So DreamKing is unfortunately out of the running, and ensgmaster is going to continue on and hopefully win in the losers bracket and come up to the winners bracket. So you just gotta have faith.
Yeah, I gotta have faith. Yeah, I will be there for the next match. I wasn't really expecting to get there, but yeah, this is. We'll have to get better times if I want to hope to get further. But yeah, this was fun.
Alright, well, I think that's it. We're gonna.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. There's another race going on tomorrow. I believe it's gonna be D-Planet and Almafarian, I think. And maybe someone else, I don't know. Come back tomorrow. Watch those 2 guys, and that'll be that.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching, people.
Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the day, guys. Have fun watching the Link to the Past or whatever run's coming up next.
Yeah.
All
goodbye,
right,
everybody. I will see you next round. Bye.
Bye.